let's come to our next sentence for rapper Tony, right? So let's come to our next one. Okay, let's see. He became known as rap farmer Tony. He became known as. He became known as. Okay, it means everyone know him as something, a name. Like, you know, my Vietnamese name is not Tony. My Vietnamese name, do you know my Vietnamese name? Yeah, so everyone know me as Tony. So it means I am known as Tony. Okay, so you know, Tony, he became known as rap farmer Tony. Okay, he became known as rap farmer Tony. Good job. So let's come to our sentence. All right, he became known as rap farmer Tony. All right, he became known as rap farmer Tony. One more time. He became known as rap farmer Tony. He became known as rap farmer Tony. Good job. Easy, right? So let's come to our mini story. He became known as the rap farmer Tony. Ooh, right. So who became known as rap farmer Tony? Of course, Tony. He became known as rap farmer Tony. So what happened with Tony? What happened with Tony when he's famous in India? What happened? Well, he became known as rap farmer Tony. So did Tony become known as rap engineer Tony? No, not. Did Tony became as rap farmer? Yes. Where did Tony become as rap farmer Tony? Yes, in India. Okay, he became known as rap farmer Tony in India. So what did Tony do in India? Well, he is a farmer. He's a farmer. He planting cheese. He's a farmer in India. But he also a rapper. A rap singing farmer. So, you know, he became known as rap farmer Tony. So, who was Tony in Vietnam? Who was Tony in Vietnam? He was very famous rapper, a superstar. So what happened with Tony in India? You know, in Vietnam he felt something was missing, so he traveled to India. Okay, he traveled to India to find something that is meaning to his life. Alright, so in India he became known as rap farmer Tony. It means a lot of people know him, right? Yes, a lot of people know Tony. He became known as rap farmer Tony. Yeah, rap farmer Tony. So what did Tony do? What did Tony do every day in India? Well, he played ninja, and he also a rapper. Okay, he sing a lot of song, a lot of rap song. Okay, so who became known as rap farmer Tony? Tony, of course. Tony, he became known as rap farmer Tony. So, did Tony become known as a superhero in India? Superhero? No, he did not become known as a superhero. He became known as rap farmer Tony. He became known as rap farmer Tony. Right? So, what happened with Tony in India? He became known as rap farmer Tony. A lot of people in the village, a lot of people in India know him. He became known as rap farmer Tony. Right? So, is Tony famous in India? Yes, he's famous. Why? Why is Tony famous in India? Well, he's famous for catchy tunes and green thumbs. Right? He's famous for catchy tunes and green thumb. And everybody knows him as a rap farmer Tony. Okay, so this is the end of this mini story for this sentence. And I want you to listen to this mini story again and again and again. Can you do this? Okay? Listen to this mini story again and again. Right. Thank you. Give up.